Hey, this is the agent that every IT people should create. So, do you know the Microsoft Learn site where you have tons of material? It's some sort of knowledge base for IT people about all Microsoft products where you can find all the information on all products. So, you often go there to find an information and it might take some time. So, the idea here is to create an agent that is surfacing that. that site, and then you can ask any question. So let's try to build that in Copilot Studio. So I'm going to go to Copilot Studio in the agent section. I'm going to create a new agent. I'm going to go to create the agent, and we'll try to implement it. What is cool is that Microsoft provided a MCP server, Context Protocol, that is already surfacing everything that is in this site. That's how we can do it. So I'm probably gonna have to wait a little bit that Copilot Studio instantiate here. So I can give it a name, I can change the description, the instructions. You're gonna see the instructions are gonna be very simple. I'm not gonna spend too much time on making it beautiful, but the idea is to be able to create this agent pretty quickly and get some result pretty quickly so we can see what comes out of it. So I'm gonna edit it and I'm gonna call it Let's Learn Microsoft. And I'm going to describe the agent. This agent helps user to ask any question about Microsoft should say products based on Microsoft Learning Content and MCP. That's all. And the instructions, I think I have a prompt somewhere. Okay, very simple prompt. You are an agent that can answer any question about Microsoft products based on Microsoft Learning Content using the MCP server. And I name the MCP server that I'm going to pick. It should always reference sources that were used to build the answer. You can develop that with more details if you want. And then I'm just going to add this MCP server here with add tool model context protocol, and if I scroll down, I can find the Microsoft Learn Docs MCP. Oh, maybe I forgot to save my, so I'm gonna leave. I need to save. You remember, this is bothering me all the time. So now I saved it. I can add my tool without losing what I've saved. And then I go back to Microsoft Learn, and I'm gonna say, okay, create a new connection. It's in preview, apparently. So let's see if it works. Create my connection. Should come. And I'm gonna add to configure and configure, so you'll see some sort of API that are available, but I'm not gonna even use the API. I'm gonna just, connect to this MCP server and answer any question. So let's try to connect to that. And here you can see that this is what the tools in the MCP, so the Microsoft Doc Search, Microsoft Code Sample, so it can be also for developers, Microsoft Doc Fetch, and if you're a developer, there's also a GitHub MCP, so that can be very useful. So here, I'm not going to change anything here. So I'm good with that. And I think I can go back here. And we're good. So I'm going to ask a question that I hear so often and see if it works. And I think the first time it's going to ask me to connect. So bear with me. Or can I restrict Copilot so does not surface specific SharePoint sites that are sensitive. So I don't want Copilot to surface all my SharePoint sites that are containing some sensitive information like payroll or whatever. So that's where it tells me, okay, open connection manager. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say connect. I'm not sure why we have to go through this process every time we start using connector. Apparently it's good. So I'm going to go back to Copilot Studio. Where am I? Yeah, here. And I'm going to retry. And let's see if I have an answer. So here I can see that it instantiates the MCP, and it comes back with some answers. You should use restricted content discovery feature. And I have the sources. So it looks like it works. So let's ask if there are any other options. For example, to block Copilot to access certain documents. And again, it's going to launch the MCP server. It tells me sensitivity label, DLP, restricted access control policy, default sharing option, manual default management, content labeling, block download, and again, with all the references. Pretty cool, no? So I can start a new test. How do I clear? Yeah, here. I'm gonna say, what are the main question I have? What when I prompt in Microsoft 365 Copilot what is going to Microsoft or OpenAI? I'm afraid some enterprise information in my prompt could be reused by those companies. So let's see if it can give me a good answer here. But as you can see, this is super powerful for IT people when they have questions from either the business users or they have their own IT question. So it says, when you use Microsoft Copilot, your prompt Copilot response are processed and stored within Microsoft 365 server. This data is encrypted at rest and in transit. Okay, your enterprise information Copilot prompt is not reused by Microsoft OpenAI for model training or other customers and remain within the organization. So, and I have the links. So you can ask any question about any subject here. And so let's publish this. So that's probably the first agent IT people should create, and not just people working on Copilot, because in this Microsoft Learn, there's almost everything on every product. So super powerful, and then you can reuse it. So how can I share it? Let me. And I didn't change the model here. I could have used GPT-5. I didn't spend time here, but you can see that here you can change the model you want to use. But let's try to go to channels and publish it to Copilot. So I can have access to it anytime. Let's see if it works. I'm gonna add it. I didn't put my name. You can do, you can, in the settings you can do more. Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't want to publish it in my Copilot environment, which is really weird. So let's go back to Copilot Studio. Where was it? Here? No? Oops. Here. So we're gonna try something else. I'm gonna copy the link so I can use it in Teams. Not sure why it's not working. If I say manage sharing, I'm the owner. I could add other people. So not sure what's going on here. So yeah, I'm gonna pause the video just to be sure that I'm not sharing any confidential information. So I'm gonna grab again the URL just to show you again where it is. So in channel, you go there, then you go there, you copy the link. That's what I did already, and I'm gonna paste the link here. And I'm gonna open Teams, and I'm gonna open, and then I can open it with Copilot or open it with Teams. So I'm gonna try here, open, and now have my agent within Teams, which is a bot. So what are the limitations in M365 Copilot in terms of number of documents I can surface in a prompt? I'm not sure if I have to do that. Okay, so it tells me it didn't start, so what do you say? Sometimes I use it. Okay, so I'm gonna. The first prompt doesn't work because he has to get me a first intro. So let's do that again. Again, he asked me to connect, which is to me weird. I'm gonna connect. Okay, I'm gonna go back here, retry. Not the most user-friendly experience here. authentication is important. So I guess I could do a better job by creating my agent with the credentials. And so here I have document limit. Copilot can surface a limited number of documents in response to a single prompt. Performance considers surfacing too many documents. For more details. Okay. Can you tell me the number of documents? Limitation. So I want a number of documents, so it doesn't tell me how many documents I can put in my prompt. So it says it's limited to 15 files or folder when creating a knowledge source. So here it seems that it makes a mistake to me here. So I'm not talking about Copilot Studio, but about M365 Copilot. So as you can see, it's not perfect, so you need to be vigilant, just like with every Copilot prompt. But you have access to a lot of information with links, which is to me very important to check the source, and it can give you some good insights. Here I'm not sure of document analysis when using document analysis between 5 documents at a time. So I think this is not correct. Because Copilot in Word, you can reference 10. So let's ask, how many documents can I reference in a Copilot chat prompt? Maybe this question is more scoped, and hopefully it will tell me the right answer. But at least you have a pointer to look at. And here it tells me Copilot chat, 10 documents. Are there any chance it will increase in the future? As of in 2023. So I'm a little bit skeptical here because it feels like it looked in the knowledge of the LLM and not so that might be a reason why I don't have super good answer. So let's go back to my agent in Copilot Studio. Where was it? Here's here. And let's see what I can say or do to have better answers. So the web search is disabled, so that doesn't pollute my stuff. Where can I? So I guess it's in the settings. Where could it make a mistake here? The content moderation is high. You can change a few things here. Knowledge, use general knowledge. So here I can say turn that off because I only want things that are in the site. And by the same token, I'm going to change and use the GPT reasoning model, and let's try that. So I'm not sure if I need to republish in Teams, so republish it here. It gives me a warning. Okay, it tells me, okay, it might not be fully working, but I'm gonna come back here and ask the same question to see if it provides a better answer. So, okay, so let's try it here. And let's see. Definitely it's reasoning, so I can see it spends more time. So hopefully if it's reasoning, it's gonna provide a better result. So play with it, check what is the best model. But you can see in terms of instruction, it's pretty simple. You can change it if you want the instruction to be displayed differently. So here it gives me way more information. Number of references you can pick up 10 items. Expanding this support up to 20 references in some releases. So you can see it gives me more information. And before, because it was relying on the LLM, it came back with information from 2023, which didn't make sense because I asked him to look in the website here. I'm more confident that disabling the LLM and using generative AI GPT-5 model is better. So definitely that's way better. Let me ask a question. A new question. So I'm going to refresh session. And I'm going to ask, is it possible to block Copilot to surface email, but to allow it to surface everything else? How should I do it? So imagine you don't want Copilot to surface your emails, but you want Copilot to surface everything else. It's a weird question, but I had this question from a customer. And I was not able to answer it. So let's see if I had this agent, if I would have answered it correctly, or at least with some information. And again, I'm not going to take for granted the answer. What I'm going to do is look at the site that it's going to provide, hopefully. And again, it's reasoning, that's why it takes more time. So maybe I should come back to a non-reasoning model. On top of that, this one is in preview, so not sure if it's working all the time. But again, this video is a little bit long because I went through a rabbit hole, but it's to show you that this MCP server is super useful and can be definitely a game changer for IT people who want to ask questions regarding technical things, not just about Copilot, but everything Microsoft. So let's see the answer. Short answer, no. That's what I thought. So, include Exchange Online as a data source, okay. But what I can do instead, I can scope down documents. That's not what I'm trying to do. End user filtering. Okay, this is end user. Can use Purview. Run email from Surface by Copilot for certain users. The only hard block is to block access to their Exchange Online mailbox. Be aware this block email for those users across all apps. Okay, might not be the good way to do it, but this is very insightful. I have some answer. I can check the link and to get more detail. And definitely, this is an agent that I'm going to keep. Hope this was insightful.